here with Keri Bauer to preview the 2021 cross country season as we record this. Not too long from the first official meet of the season, coming up in early September. You're from central Nebraska, right? What caught your attention about Concordia, and why was this the right place for you?
Yeah, Concordia has always just been a place that I've kind of known about. I didn't know too much about it early in my high school years, but I was intrigued by their basketball program here, and I knew that they had a really good track program too, which is both what I was looking into when I was going into college. And then I came on a college visit here, and right away I kind of knew, I was like, this hit home. Like, the people here, the coaching staff, the professors that I talked with, they all just were very welcoming. So it's just definitely community, and the people are very supportive, and so that is definitely the first thing that I was drawn into coming to Concordia.
And your athletic career took a little bit different path than maybe you thought when you started here. What has that process been like for you, transitioning to focus on distance running and being basically in season the whole school year?
Yeah, for sure. I started out doing basketball for 2 years and then just doing outdoor track, and I enjoyed both of them, but it was just overwhelming with two, and then not being able to just focus fully on one. I wanted to commit myself to just one, and so I ended up choosing track, and it's been a really good fit for me. And then the girls have been very welcoming, even though I came as a junior full time, and even into cross country season they were just very welcoming. And so just going into cross country and then indoor and outdoor, last year being my first year with being a full season, all through the year, it's just been it's been fun, and yes, it's a long season, but I've enjoyed every bit of it. And so that's how I know I made the right choices, because I've enjoyed every bit of it.
Mm-hmm. How about cross country in particular, though? I mean, the training you were doing probably didn't involve such mileage before. How do you kind of build yourself up for that?
Yeah, so last summer when I knew I was going to do cross country, coach started me off with lower mileage and in the summer, and I've slowly just worked my way into it, and he still puts me kind of in a lower mileage group. And so that's what's really nice, is that he kind of works with not just me as an individual, but he gets to know his athletes really well, and then to use their strengths. And so that's what he's done with me, is he's started me as a lower mileage, and he's just worked me up. And so even this summer I just feel a lot stronger coming in, a lot more prepared, I would say, for sure.
And as far as track, you've been an AllAmerican on some relay teams here. How special has that been, kind of, to be part of that whole atmosphere with the track team, and what all that's been accomplished with that program?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's not something I really ever imagined, but it's just again, the girls here have been so welcoming, and to have that support group, and it's really just been a humbling experience to say that we've accomplished these things, and it's not just me, but it's all the girls and all the work we put into and pushing each other in practice. And whether we're in different event groups, but we're still pushing each other, and we're all still supporting each other, no matter what event we're in.
What is that timeline like, when you go to nationals in outdoor track? I'm sure you want to have a little bit of a break after that before you start doing intensive training again, but what's that process like to building up towards being ready for this season?
Yeah, so the end of outdoor season, I had about 2 weeks until I kind of turned over and started kind of picking up the training. So it was 2 weeks no running, but it was also kind of nice so you don't get completely out of shape before you have to try to get back into shape. And so those 2 weeks, completely off, and then after that we just slowly again started to build up. And now it's we're getting clear up into our higher mileage group, but yeah, it's definitely a grind, but it's enjoyable and it's fun to do, and it helps when you have your teammates. I know that my teammates are working hard in the summer, and so I want to be there, and I want to be working hard to show that respect to them as they're showing the respect to the team too.
Cross country is a sport, I guess, where in some ways it feels like an individual thing, but you still want to build team chemistry. How does that, I know, and this team came in a little bit early, obviously before school started. How do you work on building chemistry in a sport like this?
Yeah, so this week has been a really good week, this past week. We came in and Coach, we have been busy this whole time we do our workouts early in the morning, so that way it's nice and cool, we get them done, but then after that we are spending time together, we're getting to know each other, doing activities, and just like getting to bond, and it has really been, I think it's going to be a huge and crucial part of our season, just like building these connections, and the freshmen have done a really good job of coming in and like helping us, like they are so easy to talk with and they're excited to work, and so I can already tell just like looking around this week that it's going to be a good year just because of just the friendships and the connections that we're building right now at this moment.
Do you have any routines that you have to go through before a race to get your mind right?
Yes, I guess the night before is always like ice bath. Make sure you always get your legs nice and prepared. That's like one thing me and a couple of my other friends were always like pretty adamant about. And then I guess the day before, especially in like track when you have more of a time, like in cross country you have morning races, but it's like I always like to have a nice big breakfast and I don't like to miss it, you know. But other than that, I don't really have a routine per se.
I believe you were coached by your father in high school, is that right?
I was.
What did you enjoy about that experience?
It was fun. It was, he knew being my dad, and I just was wanting to work and wanting to put in, you know, I wanted to be successful too, that he just threw me into all sorts of different events, you know, where the team needed me, which I enjoyed a lot, and it honestly went really well. I respected him and he respected me, and we listened to each other, and we didn't argue a whole bunch, so that was nice too, but it was good. And even now, like, he still is encouraging me, and he doesn't like to miss a lot of meets, and so it's just fun to still hear his voice in the crowd, even though I'm no longer, you know, he's no longer coaching me.
I'm guessing that means you were involved in sports at a young age.
Oh,
then,
yes.
right?
Yep. He coached basketball and track. So he coached 1 year of basketball for me my senior year. And so it's just, I'm used to him coaching me, and he got me started doing all of it at a very young age, 3rd grade, and even probably before that.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is your senior year, at least in terms of academically. I know eligibility-wise, everything is crazy with COVID, but what are you hoping to get out of this whole season before you look ahead at what might be after college?
Yeah. Obviously, I know last year we kind of came up short with some of our goals, and in the cross country, like, we were wanting to win GPAC, and so I think that's one thing that we're all hoping for, and I think if we just do the little things, it's definitely possible, and something that we can strive for. And not just in cross country, but in indoor and outdoor season too. But more importantly, like, again, just building the relationships and just taking the time in the moment and getting to know the girls and to just enjoy where we're at now, because you don't know what's going to happen in the next year, and so just enjoy where we're at.
Last thing, I believe part of preseason is kind of brainstorming ideas for like a motto that kind of focuses your mentality, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But what is that this year, and how does that drive you forward, I guess?
Yeah, so a couple days ago we sat down as a girls team, and we just were going through, like, what are our goals of the season, like, what do we want to get accomplished, and the big goal overarching, like, run as one, like, we want to run as a team, and we're going to run, like, that's not just on the race, like when we're on the line, but like no matter what, like being there to support each other and helping each other, and, you know, in school or in just anything, everyday life, just like being able to support each other. And so we want to strive for excellence, and we want to serve one another, and we want to put our community over competition. So those are just like our overarching ideas, and we know that if we like live those out, then the little things will happen too, because it takes those little things to make sure that we're accomplishing those big ideas.